Johns Hopkins Rheumatology Exercise Center was founded in 2011. At that time, we submitted a proposal to the Donald and Dorothy Stabler Foundation to investigate the effects of resistance exercise or muscle building exercise on systemic inflammatory rheumatic disease. Now, it's no secret that exercise is good for you. That's not a novel concept. But what we wanted to investigate and specifically look at was the impact of resistance exercise on muscle, joints, and inflammation in our rheumatic conditions. We needed particular tools in order to do this because many of our patients with rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, vasculitis, they may have unique musculoskeletal needs that makes it difficult for them to work out, train, exercise in a conventional gym or exercise facility. So we wanted to create an environment where our patients could exercise and could learn about exercise, where we could also learn from them about how their body responded to resistance exercise protocols. And this was how our exercise center was founded. We started with 5 pieces of exercise equipment, which we are still using today, with a combination of dynamic and static resistance exercise. The mission of the Johns Hopkins Rheumatology Exercise Center is to understand the impact of resistance exercise on systemic inflammatory conditions. Currently, our exercise center is used exclusively for interventional exercise protocols. The type of exercise protocols that we're using in our center are a combination of dynamic resistance exercise and static resistance exercise. The goal of all of our resistance exercise is safety, in addition to gaining strength and muscle for all of our patients. One of the common myths about resistance exercise is that the most common way that people get injured is by lifting too much weight. They lift something that's too heavy and they hurt themselves. And that's actually not true. The most common way that people become injured is with improper form. And often that improper form is because they're doing the exercise too fast. And they're using momentum to push a resistance instead of using the muscles themselves. For this reason, in our exercise protocols, we emphasize safety, we emphasize form, and we emphasize slow movement. By moving resistance slowly, you're less likely to have an injury because there's less velocity. And we believe that the benefit is great because of the constant resistance on the muscle. The ultimate in slow-moving exercise is static. And this is when you're applying a force against a fixed resistance, and there's no movement at all. We find that this type of resistance exercise can be particularly of benefit to our patients with severe musculoskeletal conditions that may make it difficult to grip handheld weights or because of joint problems that have resulted from systemic inflammation. So what does the future hold for the Johns Hopkins Rheumatology Exercise Center? We remain committed to ongoing investigation on the effects of resistance exercise on our systemic inflammatory rheumatic diseases that we treat. We hope in the future to have longitudinal studies of exercise where we can follow patients who are participating in longitudinal exercise programs. Because what we really believe is that exercise is not just meant to be in 3 or 4 months of a particular research protocol. It is a lifestyle. It is a commitment to your overall health. And it's just as important as many of the pharmaceutical medications that we prescribe in the clinic. We see it as an important part of treatment and part of overall health and long-term care.